Today, we're going to be talking about the Netty approach. And hopefully by the end of today's video, you are very clear on how to go about this practice and you won't get stuck in any mental obstacles that typically come along with this practice. So first and foremost, Netty is an observation, a noticing that whatever you are aware of, you are not. And thereby a spontaneous abiding as that which you already are. So this whole process works with the principle that the self that you are cannot be known. You cannot know the self, you can only be the self. And anything you know, anything you are aware of, you cannot be. So whatever appears, whatever is known, is not what you are. And what you are, you already are. What you are cannot be brought into the known. It is that which knows. So I received a question recently. Let me read it out to you. It says, I have been doing self-inquiry and the ego has now taken on an identity of being the story catcher. Is there ever an end to Netty? So this self-inquiry, which is also the practice of seeing that whatever you are aware of, you are not. In a way, this is the same as Netty. Constantly letting go of your interest and immersion in what you are aware of and simply being, noticing that which is aware. You, that which is aware. So, is there ever an end to this Netty process? Not this, not this, not this. I am not that, I am not that. Which, by the way, is not a mental phrasing. It is not a mentally stating to yourself, I am not this, I am not this. For that is also just being identified at the level of thinking, constantly saying, I am not this, I am not this. It is a spontaneous noticing. Consider it on the level of attention, on a level of noticing. I am not this. Simple noticing, I am not this. And thereby a spontaneous being what you already are, that which is aware of that. So what is the end to Netty? You are the end to Netty. And we're not speaking about the end to Netty as an end of a journeying or an end of doing this process again and again until you get a realization. You have to see that this process, this practice has nothing to do with time, has nothing to do with journeying. It is all about here and now. For you already are that which you are here and now. You are aware of experience. Is that not so? That you, which is aware of experience, is not somewhere in the future of this practice. It is simply here and now. So although you may understand this concept at an intellectual level, it really has to be applied here and now. You cannot conceptualize a future with this practice. If you do, there will always be a future with this practice and it will always seem never ending. You have to see here and now, you are the end to Netty. You, that which knows, yet itself does not appear to be known. So you see in this statement when you said, I've been doing self-inquiry and the ego has now taken on the identity of being the story catcher, for whom is this a problem? What is it that wants this gone? What is it that wants to reach the end of Netty? What is it that is conceptualizing a future? What is it that is creating another story about self-inquiry? So you need not get too entangled in these things, but you simply need to notice that even when that subtle identity you see forming about being the spiritual one or being the one that does self-inquiry or whatever, you don't even need to do anything about it. You simply need to notice its appearance. Because again, the very principle of Netty is that whatever you are aware of, you are not. So notice that in every single occurrence of your seeing this, you are already abiding as that which is free from conceptual identity, which is free from story. There's no person there. That which knows is always free from any conceptual idea about oneself. And you continue to see all of these conceptual ideas arising. And you see the what I appear to be. I appear to be someone who is thinking all of these things and trying to even progress in my spiritual practice and get to some sort of realization, the end of Netty. And you see that even that is a process being observed. So you may say, like, okay, then all of spirituality is seen, all the whole spiritual journey is seen, and it's all an illusion. Well, in essence, yeah, you have to come to see that as well. That spiritual practice, or even the desire to wake up, is only on the level of appearance. It's all a mirage. But that it's not also a reason to reject the spiritual practice because, hey, that's just the theme of whatever is currently appearing. Even the one on behalf of whom you are going to try to reject spiritual practice and say it's not necessary is also just another identity, which is also watched. So this can get a little frustrating, right? When you hear this again and again that, hey, all is watched. But then notice again, frustrating for whom? So do you see how, like, in this practice, there's constantly that one emerging that claims to be a somebody, and it hides behind your sense of identity, but it is not. It is not you. And we only appear to be bound to it when we believe in it, when we identify with it, when we falsely attribute any significance to it, unconsciously attribute importance to it, interest to it. So don't conceptualize a future with Netty, with self-inquiry, with spirituality. You have to be very, very now with it. And you have to see everything that is arising, not only on the level of circumstance, not only on the level of body, not even on the level of only like concrete thoughts, but also very subtle layers of mind where these identities are forming, as you said. And any will to do anything about it will only bind you further in it. You simply have to just dispassionately watch. And in your very watching of it, in your very awareness of it, you are already that principle or reality, which is not that which you are watching, which you are aware of. And this won't be a mental exercise. This cannot be a mental exercise. If this is just you thinking about these things, it will always remain on the surface. This practice is not done on the level of thinking. As I said, consider it more on the level of noticing, being aware. So here and now, notice all sights, sounds, sensations, thoughts, even this assumption of being a person watching this video. This whole thing is an appearance that you are aware of. Rest in the judgmentless, descriptionless noticing of that. In the very moment of the noticing that you are not that you are not what you observed, that you are not what you are aware of. You are already that which you are. Our problem is trying to make that into an experience. Our problem is trying to make the unknown into something that is known. So that's why it keeps ending up being an endless process. Whereas if you continue to return to this witnessing, this being, then you will even find that even the sense of being an individual witness is also something that is seen in just pure awareness. And you are that unknown reality in which this whole witness and all of its objects are appearing. So don't get discouraged with this type of stuff. Don't get frustrated. And when you do, when that appears, you have to inquire, right? On behalf of whom is this frustration? On behalf of whom am I chasing something? And return to your conceptless noticing. Return to the actual principle of Netty, which is whatever I observe, I am not. Therefore, who is concerned about it? Who is afraid of it? Who is frustrated by it? I hope this video helps you with this practice. If you have any questions about it, please post them down below in the comments, because every week I select a few questions and I answer them in these videos. I would also encourage you to download my self-inquiry guide, which will help you with this practice. And if you really need help with it, then consider joining our School of Awakening. All right. Like this video if it brought you value. It really helps the channel, and subscribe if you're new here. Thank you for watching. I will see you next time.